Hi and welcome to day 27 of Inktober Tangles challenge. I'm Anica Gabrovic, a CZT from Croatia. And today we have a tangle by Midori Furuhashi, a CZT from Japan. And the name of the tangle is Yeed. Now there are two suggested uses of this tangle. One is almost like a ribbon tangle, and one is like a blossoming type of tangle, or a radial, where you basically draw it like a mandala, coming from the inside and then blooming towards the sides. I'm doing something between the two, so it's more or less like a ribbon, but I'm not starting with a flat line. I'm starting with this zigzag line that's only zigzag because it's following the shape below it. So I started with a line nevertheless, and then I'm going to add some seed shapes on top. And these seed shape can be longer or shorter. I'm going to make them longer and shorter, but they are all going to reach to a similar point towards the end. You can see the edge of my tile. So some are longer, some are smaller, and it doesn't really matter that these shapes are not the same distance from each other. I don't care. Then I'm going to draw lines between them, more or less in the middle. And you can see that I drew those lines so that they reach towards the border line that I drew with my pencil in the first video of this week. And I'm going to finish this with a zigzag line that just connects the top of my rice shapes and the top of my lines. And I think I'm going to do this. And maybe I can also do two more here. Just extend this. And then I'm cheating, kind of cheating. I will draw this line. It's like a bottom line that I started with. Then I will draw these seed shapes, and I also added the line. I'm not sure I like this the way it is now. It has nothing to do with the tangle. I'm not saying that the tangle is the one that I don't like. I'm just talking about the way that I use this tangle, and it's only temporarily because I will add some details. I will embellish it, shade it, highlight it. So maybe it will look totally different once I'm done with it. Not giving up. I'm not saying, oh, I don't like it, and I will throw away this tile and I will start a new drawing and pretend this never happened. No. I want to be very real and raw in these videos, and I want to show you that whatever happens, you can embrace it and you can make something out of it. And now I'm going to start embellishing it. The way you decide to shade this is really up to you, whatever you want. I'm starting with the white jelly roll, and I'm adding some shiniest highlight to the left part or left side of each of my rice shapes. I actually intended to fill it all with white, but now I'm thinking, maybe it might look interesting if I do it on one side only. Let's see. And not having any preconceived notion about what this will look like when I'm done with it, I'm just doing what I usually suggest you to do, creating contrast. So I'm adding the darkest shade on the opposite side of the line where my shiniest highlight is, and I'm going to blend this. So my white jelly roll is drying. I'm not touching it. I'm adding shade in another section of the tangle. And now I think that my white gel pen is dry, so I'm going to go in with my pencil and add a little bit of pencil, which will be like less bright than the white. And maybe on this other side I will add really a light shade, so I'm not going in with a very dark and dramatic shade. Oh, I really look forward to seeing what this end up looking like, because I have no clue what I'm doing. I have no clue whatsoever. And because I added the shade on this right side of each of my rice shapes, I will add highlight right on the opposite side of that line where my shade is. And of course, I'm going to blend that highlight. And you can see that I haven't really covered the whole space. I will think about it. I'm not sure where this will lead me, but I know that it will lead me somewhere, and I enjoyed exploring this in the way that I'm doing it. And now, you know, I could maybe go with the white here, and now I'm having a dilemma. So one thing I could do is add the shade right here on the opposite. See, within the same section, I have white here. I could have a little bit of shade here and then white right here. Or I could just go in and add some more. Let's try the more elaborate version. So I'm using the same section where I added the white highlight, but I'm adding a little bit of shade on the opposite side of the same section. And maybe it's not the best solution, but we'll see what it will look like. And then I can use my white color again, or white charcoal. I will just sharpen it a little bit because I need to be a little bit more precise here. So I want the pencil to have a little bit sharper tip, and I'm adding the white on the opposite side of the line where my shade is. Well, now I'm looking at it and I'm not sure if this was the right thing to do, but it's the thing that I did, and it seems to me for some reason that this needs a little bit whimsy. So I added these white lines with my white jelly roll, and I think the whole thing needs some grounding. So you can see I added the rounding on the bottom side only, but now I will add the shades as well, but I'm not covering my rice shapes, only around them. It will make it look a little bit more grounded on the bottom part, or at least that's what I suppose it will happen. If you have muted any of your lines, whether it's the white ones or the black ones, always the last thing you do might be to grab your pens again and just add a few more touches to your lines and cover whatever there is to be covered. And this is where I will stop today. And let me just notice that I'm not crazy about this. I wish that I had opted for another way of shading and highlighting, meaning adding shades in one section, highlights in another one. I think it would be better, but it is what it is, and I will leave it as it is now. And I will take, you can see that I added a little bit of blue to my palette, and I will add that blue between some of my tangles just to kind of connect them. And also later, after I add the next tangle, I think that the whole background will make it look a bit more cohesive, the blue background, hopefully. So this is what my intention is, and I hope that the result will be in line with whatever I'm trying to achieve. But there's always an element of surprise in your creative endeavors, and it's best to embrace it and let yourself be surprised and be open to being surprised, even if it's not a positive surprise. It's still, you know, it's a learning curve, it's a learning experience, and it's something also to embrace and enjoy. So this is where I will stop today. I thought that we would have just 4 tangles here, but we will see what's coming tomorrow, and then I can decide to maybe repeat some of these tangles again somewhere, because the space that I have left is quite big. But let's see what tomorrow brings. Thank you for tangling with me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.